Hey everybody, it's your friend Sarmate here, and we're back with another series, this time with Land of the Vikings. I hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day today. We're going to go ahead and jump into a new game, and we are going to be able to edit our banner a little bit here. So there's lots of different symbols that you can choose. We're going to go ahead with the double ravens here, and we're going to make it a little bit smaller. And then let's just go for a white background with black ravens. Perfect. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and go back. And then we're going to turn off tutorial. We'll leave disasters on. And then we have a couple options here. So we have small land, valley, green bay, white rivers, mountains, and small land again. Let's just go for, ooh, these look really pretty. Let's go for, I like the second one here, the valley. We'll go for valley. All right, so here we are with our little teeny tiny Viking village. Let's take a quick look at our terrain here. So here we go on the coast. This is where we're going to have access to the sea. It's going to be a very important piece for us. We have wooden trees, of course. There's going to be a deer around. And then later, we'll be able to find spots where we can harvest stone. And then mines are in specific spots as well. So we'll get to that. At the top here, we have a handful of really basic resources. We have the wood that gets processed to timber. We have the stone that gets processed to redstone, and then we have silver, and this is the total number of meals. So kind of a little hand on how much food we have available. This is the year and the day of that year, total population, average happiness, fame, and then defense points. Fame is a very important piece in this game. This is going to show the size and strength of the village, obtained by completing objectives, increasing the village population, and by various events. So when we increase the fame, we are also going to be allotted Tree of Life points. So we are going to start with, I guess, 8 points. So we're going to go for the transition to settled life. It's going to cost us 3 points. So we'll explore that. And then as you can see, as we learn the text, we're going to move up the tree. So this tree is quite extensive. So there's a lot to learn here. And that's good. And then we have these main things kind of in the middle here. But on the sides here, we have a couple little smaller bonuses. So crop durability will increase. This is going to obviously increase the crop's durability. And then automatic field harvest feature will unlock. So straight away here, we don't have the ability to automatically harvest and plant our fields, which is kind of an interesting little thing. And then over here, we have crops in the field grow 5% faster and unlock the automatic field plant feature. And then down here, we have villagers work a little bit faster and are a little bit happier. So with 5 points, what I think I'm going to do is I want to get the automatic planting and harvesting, and I'm going to go ahead and do this as well. So I'm not going to do it this second because I want to show you what to do if you don't have the points to automatically harvest and plant your farms. We got the text started up, and let's go ahead and we're going to mark a couple things to gather. So let's go ahead and we'll start with stone. You can see you get this kind of green circle here. And then we are just going to click on the little areas we want to harvest. We're going to mark pretty much all the stone that's right close here in our vicinity. And we're going to be needing all of it. So similarly with trees, we're going to go ahead and grab the little axe. And we are going to color in all of the trees that we want to mark for harvesting. The thing about trees here is when we mark all these for harvesting, they will get cut down, of course. But they come back pretty quickly. So it's not like we're going to be totally barren here. The way that trees don't come back is if you build buildings on top of them. So, not too big of a deal. And then we have build menu, destroy buildings, and then build pathways. Let's go ahead and get started with storage and then a marketplace. This is going to be an important piece, and it is going to be the thing that allows us to get more silver. It's going to be where people come to purchase all sorts of different things, foods, beer, stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and plop this guy down kind of central. And then let's go ahead, we'll get one more house in here. So one thing that's kind of neat is the houses are all in different varieties. So you can see we got kind of a longer house here. It's kind of just a silhouette right now, but I'll show you when we get building. This one's more square, and this one's also pretty square, but it's a totally different style. So let's go ahead and get a couple more houses started here. We'll do one for now, right there. And then let's get a worker set up into our carpenter. So villagers in this game have different talents. So in this case, the carpenter is looking for somebody who has the power talent. So what you can do is you click on this to add a worker, And then you can sort by different talents here. So we have luck, strength, intelligence, and speed. Let's go ahead and hit the strength here. And then Auslog has 2.5 strength, so we're going to go ahead and put them as the worker. And then another thing we want to do is turn on this building. So that's how you do that right here. It is now open. You can see the little red circle here is there, and now it's gone. So it's good to go. All right, so let's get this started up here. Get these little people running around at super speed. And we're going to want a spot to store some of this wood and the stone. So we come over here to our storage, and then we have wood and stone storage. So let's go ahead and we'll get a couple of these guys started up. We'll plop them over here on this side of the town. There we go, we got the one, and then we'll get the stone as well, and we'll get that started. And as our need increases, we can just work our way down here. Okay, so they'll get to building with that, but what we have to do is find our jobs, our job list here, and then I'm also going to find resources. I like these two. The job list, we can control what the people are doing with these arrows here, but just like in a lot of these other city builders that we've been playing, we need to have laborers, and then laborers are different than builders. So there's, a couple things we got to keep balanced here. So we're going to go ahead and get a good chunk of people as builders right now to get the marketplace and the house and the storage stuff built up. So that's going to be underway. All right, and as you can see, we have the carpenter working now. They have processed the wood into timber, and then the people are going back and forth and bringing it to the marketplace to build it up. And there you go, we got the first ore house completed, and then we also have the marketplace completed. So just like the carpenter, we're going to assign a worker to the marketplace, and this one is going to want speed. So we're going to go ahead and sort by speed. Go ahead and get Haldora set up, and she's going to be working the marketplace, selling all of these current goods, which we need to start gathering, by the way. So let's go ahead and grab food, and we'll get our hunting hut to begin with here. So we come over here, and you can see the productivity. Of course, we want that as high as it can be. So we'll get that guy started about right there. And then let's get a gatherer hut as well. Get that guy there. And then I'm also going to throw in a well. So this says water for the fields, but I also like to have it in town here. I believe it helps the villagers when there's fire around. So we're going to go ahead and plop one of these guys down to kind of share that area. Okay, so we actually have a family that moved in here pretty quickly. So let's see. Each house is its own family. So if we go to villagers and then we say families, this is how we can kind of figure out how many houses we need. We're looking at 4. So we have that figured out for right now. We'll go ahead and we'll build a couple more houses so that we're prepared. We'll have more houses and more people can move in, and it'll just be good to go that way. Okay, so we'll put that guy right there, and then let's get a couple of paths built. Kind of make it feel a little bit more villagey. This space is kind of large, but we can work with it. So each pathway is going to cost silver, so we don't want to go too wild with it, but we'll go ahead and we'll put a couple little pathways around here. Just like other games, the villagers traveling on the pathways do have increased movement speed, so it's definitely a good thing to have in your town. And then we're going to cut this thing over this way because I want to be able to reach the hunter and the gatherer. And as you can see, we got this done already, so we need to assign our hunters and our gatherers, and we can do that by clicking over here or coming over on this side. And then looking for power and luck. So what I like to do in this case, we can only sort by one thing. I'm going to go for a strength. I said power, but strength on one, and then luck on the other. Just kind of divvy it out like that. And then the gatherer's hut, we need speed and luck, so we'll do the same thing. So something to keep in mind with the gatherer hut, it only gathers stuff in non-winter seasons. You can see right there. They do not work in winter. So that'll work for a while here, but not in wintertime. So we'll have to store that stuff up before it gets too cold. Let's go ahead and get another one right there. I'm gonna try and not do so gritty of a town layout here. I tend to do that, do lots of grid layouts, 2x2s or whatever. I'll just kind of not do that. It was set up for more of a round building style, so kind of interesting idea. Oh, something else. I see somebody there with a red heart. Let's go ahead and get our, if I can find it here, there it is, the herbalist hut going. So this can be the doctor, basically. We'll go ahead and we'll tuck this guy on the outskirts of the town right here. One thing that I really like about this game with the build paths is that it snaps. So you can see that it's underneath that door, and then it just kind of attaches to the rest of the pathway pretty easily. I like that. I like how it looks. Feels good. Go ahead and get a couple of these guys going like so. Okay, and I want to continue this roadway kind of in this Italy type direction. Come up right here, and then I do want to go this way. Yeah, we'll make it work. All right, just like that. And we can be able to work our way this way, because we're going to have that space to build, especially if we're going to be not cramming the houses in all together like I normally do. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is let's get a field going. So the field is going to be created with silver, so that's something to keep in mind. We have to have a good amount of silver to have a large field. But let's go ahead and get one started. I'm going to kind of come over in here. And now this is kind of wonky. I'm not a huge fan of how they have this set up right now, but it works okay. So we have to click and drag the fence there. You can see that's obviously where we're going to build it. And then it's moving with the cursor. So we have to kind of build the square like this. In this case, it turned out pretty well, but sometimes I get these weird shapes and I don't really like it that much. But this field works out pretty well. And of course, we need to assign some farmers. So let's go ahead and do that. And then here we have the automatic planting and harvesting of our fields. And we can't click this. There's nothing here. And so what we have to do in this case is we're going to go for wheat, and then we're going to say plant. So you can see this bar at the top here. We have planting, watering, and then ready to harvest. And then if you wait too long, they die out. So that's something we got to worry about a little bit here. And let's go ahead and get our well over in here so that we can make sure that the farms have the water that are going to be required. Go ahead and plop that guy right there. Okay, so our medicine person is good to go. They need intelligence, so let's go ahead and get a smart person in there. Great. And we're going to get to the point here where we're just going to be having to build as many houses as possible. It gets a little ridiculous, but it kind of makes sense. I mean, we're trying to grow the population, trying to have lots of houses, lots of people living here, and lots of making a famous settlement, basically. So a famous settlement isn't going to be empty. So we're going to need lots and lots of houses. And we're going to go ahead and just find good spots and just kind of sprinkle these around. Like I said, I want to try and not do just grid shape as I'm thinking about how I can grid shape this. So we're going to go ahead and we'll, I wonder if I can sneak a road actually. Go like that. And then I can kind of build my pathway kind of like this. It's automatically curving on me there, and I'm not a huge fan of that, but it's all right. Doesn't look like... Oh, I can. Great. So we got that path in there. And then we'll just kind of sneak our way this way. And then once these houses get built up, we will attach them just like we did over in here. Okay, so we are up to 5 points now. So we did get one more point. Let's go ahead and... Ooh, you know, I was going to get the farming stuff, but let's do that instead. Okay, so let's also get the harvest feature. We'll do that, and then with our next 2 points, we'll go ahead and get the automatic plant. So we have that now, and then if we go back to our farm, we'll be able to click this now. You can see how it's a lighter color, so that's good to go. They're already watering, so it's on way to be harvested. So we picked wheat for that, so we're going to need wheat's own storage space. So you can see we have wheat and barley granaries here. So let's go ahead and get our wheat granary started. And we're going to kind of work our way back over in here. And pop that guy down right there. And then we're going to rotate around. And we'll go ahead and make sure that we can connect our path when we get to that point. Okay, and as you can see, we have lots of trees that have regrown around town here, which is excellent. Of course, we don't want to run out of trees. But what we have to do is remember to re-target them. So once the trees come back, we have to come back through and have them marked for harvesting. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Do all that. And we have plenty of rocks, so we don't need to mark any more rocks right now. The hunting lodge is started, so we're getting some leather. We're getting some meat. We have 20 meals, good to go. Awesome. So we're coming along quite nicely. And let's go ahead. Well, what are we missing here? So this is the nice interface for when you're building something. I like this a lot. It shows how many builders we have, how far along the house is being completed or whatever building, and then what's missing. So we need some regular old wood, and I just marked everything for gathering. So our laborers are going to go ahead and gather up that wood, and we'll get some new houses started up. So already we got the foundation started on that one. Super excellent. If you want to do priority, we do have the option for priority right here. We're not going to use that right now. We don't need it. Ooh, I kind of want to do a nice circle here, but there's no way I'm going to be able to do a perfect circle. Oh, it doesn't really matter, I guess. We'll just go ahead and keep working our way around. Okay, so the next thing we want to work on is we got the carpenter. Let's get the woodshed. So this is how we're going to produce firewood. So we'll get a woodshed started up. Let's just kind of... I guess I can kind of just tuck this anywhere around here. This will work just fine here. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. And then the other thing we want to build, let's go ahead back to production. We want the stone cutter. So this is how we are going to make our regular stone into dressed stone. And we'll get one of these guys started up. We're absolutely going to need this. It doesn't particularly matter if your industry buildings are intertwined with your houses. So it's not a huge deal if we had to put something over here, but not going to do that right now. A grave filled with silver was found. While digging for construction, the villagers noticed that something hit their shovel. When they looked carefully, they realized that it was a grave full of silver. It would be best to leave this dead as it is, so as not to incur the wrath of the gods. We have, don't touch the grave and cancel the construction. Don't touch the grave, but keep building. Take all the silver in the grave and continue the construction. So let's see what the conditions are. So if we don't touch the grave, we won't finish the construction. If we don't touch the grave but keep building, we have a question mark. I hope we don't get the wrath of the gods. Or we have take all the silver and we have earn silver, but we will meet the wrath of the gods. I'm going to go ahead and say don't touch the grave but keep on building. And we'll see if anything happens. Okay, so we have our stone cutter underway. Excellent. Do we need more trees marked? We have a good amount for now, but I'm going to continue to push out this way just to make sure that we have enough. And we got 2 more houses built up. Excellent. And our fame is increasing, 854. And ooh, looks like this guy is saying it's ready to be harvested, but we're not quite here yet, so I'm just going to wait a little bit longer. Oh, we have it automatically harvest. We don't even need to do that. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go back over in here and let's get another little farm started. I want to get some barley going as well, so we can have both wheat and barley. All right, beautiful. And then let's go ahead and say barley, and then plant, and then automatic harvest. So when your farmers aren't actively planting or harvesting, they're just kind of hanging out. That's just something there. You might have noticed I didn't have any workers for a second, but as soon as I told them to do something, they showed up. Right here, no active farmers. They're working over here. Okay, so we got that happening. We are, of course, going to need a barley storage. Then if we're going to go ahead and plant some barley, and we'll get this guy tucked in right there. Ooh, these things are looking kind of full. And that one's getting there, 85 out of 100. Let's go ahead and we'll put another stone storage in. And while we're at it, we might as well put in another wood storage as well. All right, you can see our farmers are working hard. They are now harvesting up that grain for us. The grain doesn't do much unless it's converted into flour and then made into bread. So let's go ahead and we'll get our windmill started. Get this guy going about right there. Yeah, we are going to be needing lots of materials here. So we need lots of wood. We have some of it. Stone's looking good. Yeah, we just need the builders right now. So I guess what we'll do is we'll just hang out for a second and we will accrue a couple more workers and get a couple more things built. I'll be back in just a moment. All right, we got our windmill built, but no workers in there just yet. And we just got the notification that winter is coming. So hopefully we have enough food to deal with this. 40 meals is pretty good, I think. But one thing that I do like to have for the winter time is chicken. So let's go ahead and get a couple of these little buddies working here. And let's kind of put it right here, kind of in line with our farming area. So plop that guy down. The chickens are going to be obviously a meat source, so we're going to go ahead and get that happening for us. Got a bunch of people running over there immediately to get those things built up. Another house put in. No one lives in this house right now, or any of these, it looks like. But we are ready to go once the people want it. Lots of houses available. We currently have lots of little children's running around here. Let me see if I can find it. We currently have 5 baby girls and 2 baby boys, and then 11 total children. So that's going to be boy and girl. And then that's how it's broken down here. So we have babies, adolescents, and then adults. So 11 children. So those guys are going to be growing up here soon. And then we will be able to get the additional population up to 36 now. The objective that we're currently working on is up to 40. So very passive on the objectives in this playthrough. I'm going to be, they're there. And we'll get a little thing every once in a while when we complete them. But for now, that's what's going on. It looks like winter is upon us. And the fields are being harvested, and we obviously aren't going to grow anything in the winter time, so we'll just kind of leave those dormant for a little while. We have 1 extra person above 5 for our laborers, so we're going to put that person as the chicken person here. So what's going to happen here, this isn't automatic, so what we have to do is revisit this coop every once in a while and then choose how many chickens to slaughter. I'll show you that once we get to that point. Newcomers will arrive in your village. So we can choose if we want them to or not. We're going to absolutely let them join us. So we will be able to have a couple more people here pretty quickly here. And now we're over 42 population. We'll get the objective. There it is. Let's see what the next one is. 80. So doubling what we have. And luckily, we had all these houses ready to roll. So these people are able to move into homes right away. So that works out really well. With a couple more laborers now, we will be able to run a couple more things. So let's go over to the windmill. Let's get somebody with some good power in there. Get that started up. And then let's go to the stonecutter as well. And let's get some of these going. I'm going to set the limit to like 100. We don't need a ton of that right away. We will need these. We will need them. Not a ton yet. So let's go ahead and turn this on. Remember that. And only some buildings have that. Notice that the windmill doesn't have that, but the stonecutter did. So something to pay attention to there. So that is the first 22 days in the land of the Vikings. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know down in the comments what you think. And I hope to see you on the next one. Have a fantastic and amazing rest of your evening, day, or night.